our last taping of the season. We made a full 10-episode season. Give it up for the local comics here. Yes. So proud of you guys. Please give a big round of applause to Shaw TV, who has come out for a whole season and supported live stand-up comedy right here in Medicine Hat. Give them a round of applause. And we want to give a huge round of applause to Whiskey Creek for hosting us for the last 3 years. This is amazing, isn't it? Great bunch of people. Come on in and support that. How you guys doing tonight? Are you guys ready for a comedy show? Yes. Anybody do anything this weekend? The festival, Mad Hatter Comedy Festival. Yes, we are on our last day. Anybody take in some shows? Yeah. You guys saw some shows? That's cool. Who was your favorite? What was your favorite show? What's that? Trevor Moore. Who else? What was your favorite show? Jamie Hutchinson, Mike Dambra. Hey, remember that one time I was on the festival? Yeah, there we go. That was not planned at all. We can edit that out, right? Who's your favorite? Everybody was named but me. You guys, we did have a great lineup. Trevor Moore, local guy, he was fantastic. Jamie Hutchinson from Corner Gas was here. Mike Dambra from New York was here. We had Corey Mack, she was here from Comedy Now. Charles Payne from MacGyver. Yeah, we had a great lineup for our very first festival year, and we're finishing it up right here with the Homegrown show. So thank you guys so much for coming on out and supporting. Anybody else do anything else this weekend? Anything happen? Exciting? Nothing? Baby shower? Well, that was good. Boy or girl? A boy? Ah. Did they do one of those reveal cakes?
No, they had their older daughter come out of the box
with balloons. But they did a reveal party, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but
she went out with pink, so it was a blue, because it was a boy. Yeah, all right. Today it doesn't matter, I guess, right? Just come on with whatever. My husband and I did a reveal cake, but we did ours a little different. When you cut it, it didn't have blue or pink in the middle. It had a bride and a groom on the top. It's a true story. I don't know if I've told that story on the show before or not, but yeah. My husband and I, we found out we were pregnant 4 days before our wedding. How much did that tick me off, right? 33 years I tried not to walk down the aisle pregnant, and I missed it by 4 days. Frustrating. It's good. It's good. I am married. Anybody else married in the crowd tonight? Yeah? Got some married people? That's cool. You guys got a good marriage? You like your marriage? I like my marriage. But something is very different about my marriage. I don't know if I should share this or not, but whatever. We're going to go there. I don't know about you guys. I don't know how to say this. I have never fluffed in front of my husband. You know where I'm going? I've never... You know what I'm talking about, right? Not like a toot, a fart, a little... Nothing. Are you okay? Is it weird?
It's totally weird.
It's totally weird, yes. But you know what? It's become such a weird thing that it's become too far after the fact. Now it is a thing, so now I can't do it. So we've been married for like 5 years. We've been together for almost 10, and I have never cut the cheese in front of my husband. He, on the other hand, let me tell you, he has absolutely no shame whatsoever. He's like a big guy. He's like 6'3", 280 pounds, right? He'll take a bath and he'll let the water drain and lay in the tub and do this with his back, just on the tub, just go. And yet me, I'll get out of bed in the middle of the night and go to the other room just to, and then crawl back in quietly, because like I said, I don't know why I'm like this, right? But I have this issue with it now. I just can't, I don't know, because I think I'm scared because it's been so long, like what is he gonna say? However, in January, we went to Mexico. And on the flight home, I may have had a little bit of a stomach issue from the food in Mexico, right? And we were staying beside each other for like 9 hours, right? And it fell out. There was nothing I could do about it. It was silent, but deadly. All right? it was one of those things. It was bad. Like, I don't know how else to explain it other than I was gagging. Like, it was the worst. But because I've never done that in front of my husband, he didn't think it was me. So he's gonna know now. So he starts freaking out on a plane. We're like in midair, and I'm like, oh my God. So I start panicking, like, Dan, you can't do that. And he starts yelling at the guy in front of us, thinking it was him, but not like yelling specifically at him. He's like, who did that? That is disgusting, man. Oh, and he's so loud. So not only did everybody hear, they knew what he was talking about, because I'm pretty sure the people at the front of the cabin smelled it, because it was that bad, and he's flipping out, and I'm all embarrassed, right? I cannot wait for this plane to land, and my little girl is sitting there, she's 4, she's like, what is that smell? Does somebody have eggs, Mama? I don't like eggs. You can't hard-boil eggs on a plane, can you? No, you can't. So I kept my mouth shut, right? I didn't say anything. But I think it was like 3 days after we had gotten home, my husband and I, we got into this argument, and I actually can't even remember he ticked me off about something. I can't remember what it was. It was irrelevant. But I do know I was on like day 3 of giving him the silent treatment, right? So he knew he had to do something to kind of make up for it. So I'm sitting in my office, and like I said, my husband's a big dude. He's like 6'3", 280 pounds. And I'm in my office, and I'm working. And out of the corner of my eye, I see this dude trying to be like a stealth ninja, right? He's all sneaking into my office like this. And he gets close to my desk, and he slips a Big Turk on the corner of the desk. And he backs out of the room. And he's like, so we're good? And I start flipping out. I'm like, no, we're not good. And I'm going, I start flipping out on him, right? He leaves the room right in the middle of what I'm saying, right? Which made me go even more crazy on him, right? And he's like, oh my God, what is your problem? And I was like, what do you mean, what is my problem? We're right in the middle of a fight, and you just walked out of the room. And he's like, oh, gosh, that was just the middle? So I slowly walked out of the room. I grabbed my phone, and I sent him a text message. By the way, that was me on the plane. All right, you guys, we have a great show lined up. We have all local comedians on the show tonight. Are you ready to get this party started? Yes, see, you know what? The one thing I love about comedy more than anything is there's so many different styles. It's like country and rap music, you know what I mean? Like, there's just so many different genres. There's stand-up, there's improv, and then there's Reverend Don. He is our our favorite character comic. He is, yes, he is. See, there you say, yeah, we love him too. He's great. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen him before, you are in for a treat. Please welcome to the stage our local character comic, Reverend Don.
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. Now we can get down to business. I was in church in Saskatchewan the other day. One word and everybody starts giggling on this end. Celebrity endorsements these days are getting out of hand. I noticed the other day Adele is releasing a new product line. Insect repellent. She's calling it rolling in the deet. She has quite the slogan for it too. Hello, rumor has it, it'll work for someone like you. Couple of buried faces over there. Here's a question for you. Do you ever wonder why Adam wore a fig leaf? Someone had to wear the plants in the family. Even the vegans can laugh at that one. Had a weird dream last night. I was talking to a little octopus. I said, by the way, what's your favorite band? He said, Ink Floyd. There it is. I was just about to explain it. See Saskatchewanites, gotta love them. Another dream here. I know it's a weird dream sequence night. This elephant went to a water hole, saw a turtle, wound up, punt, knocked him right across a water hole. This giraffe walks up and goes, that was some pretty good distance. What'd that turtle ever do to you? The elephant says, 37 years ago, that turtle bit my trunk. The giraffe says, that's quite a memory. The elephant says, yeah, turtle recall. I had a woman come into the church there in Saskatchewan. There's the giggle. She was quite upset. She said her husband walked out on her. I said, well, that's terrible. She goes, I know. I thought the fire or the poison would have got him first. Winning the audience over one lady at a time. Another lady I helped out, she gave up her twins for adoption when they were born. One went to a lovely Mexican family. They called him Juan. The other went to an African family. They called him Jamal. Well, through the grace, we managed to track down Juan. Let me get to it. There's pills for premature giggling, you know. Managed to track down Juan, and after meeting him, she was all excited. Oh, I can't wait to see his brother. I can't wait to see his brother. I says, why? Once you've seen Juan, you've seen Jamal. There goes the face, yep. I was reading in the Saskatchewan Time paper, not Times, because as everybody knows, they don't change the time zone in Saskatchewan because nobody likes to spend an extra hour there every year. But there was this little story of a small town there in Saskatchewan. All the women got together on a bus and decided to go on a picnic. Lo and behold, the bus drives off into the river, everybody drowns. About a week later, after all the men finished mourning, there was one guy who just was inconsolable. So they called me and they said, Reverend Don, can you help this poor man? So I went up to him and I says, do you miss your wife that much? And he broke down, he started crying again. He goes, no, she missed the bus. Helping out the CNIB there in Saskatchewan, the Canadian National Institute for the Blind, for those of you who can't spell. And they have this dog they're having issues with. He has a little bladder problem. Turns out he's a peeing eye dog. Found out the most popular website in Saskatchewan for dates, ancestry.ca. Look it up, it's true. 1,000 people, one last name. Another guy came in, he's bragging away. I said, what are you so happy for? He goes, I bet my wife that I could make a car out of spaghetti. And she said I couldn't. Should have seen the look on her face when I passed by. Yeah, it doesn't get any better, does it? Shake all you like, these jokes are still coming. I did look up, I'm an amateur historian, not just in Saskatchewan, but I managed to look up the Van Gogh family tree. And you want to talk about some strange people. There was his dizzy aunt, Vertigo. The brother who ate too many prunes. Gotta go. The brother who ran a convenience store. Stop and go. No, they get worse, trust me. His magical uncle. Where did he go? His Mexican cousin. Amigo. His nephew who drove a stagecoach. Wells Fargo. A couple of groans on that one. The constipated uncle. Can't go. The ballroom dancing aunt. Tango. The bird-loving cousin. Flamingo. The fruit-loving cousin. Mango. The aunt who taught positive thinking. Way to go. The bouncy nephew. Pogo. The sister who loved disco. Go-go. And the niece who sells RVs. A Winnebago. I'm going to end it off with the married man's prayer here to send you home. Dear God, you gave me childhood, then you took it away. You gave me youth, and then you took it away. Then you gave me a wife. It's been a few years now, I'm just saying. Thank you, and have a good night.
Give it up for Reverend Don.
Your next comic, I always say they're one of my favorites. I love all the local comics. He's a brand new daddy. He's a good friend of mine. He painted my house and did a great job of it. So if you need a painter, he can also do that. All right, please welcome to the stage, Troy Patterson.
Hey. What do you mean you don't know anything about aeronautical engineering? It's not rocket science. Can't see it at home, but we got a White Walker in the front row. There's a movie being filmed in Medicine Hat recently, but you had to walk with a limp. So I broke my leg. So I broke my leg so I could get into the cast. That was it. That was the joke. No one's going to bat for Nocturnal Life. But I'll do it. I'm not scared, and I won't cave. When I was a kid, I used to play walk the plank with my invisible friend, and I was the plank. That's how bored I was. When I was a kid, I told my parents that my sister spilt chili all over the kitchen floor. Yeah. So technically one could say, I spilt the beans over who spilt the beans. I don't know what's funny. flavorless French fries. Have you tried them? Try it, but take it with a grain of salt. And some ketchup. Oh, yeah. There's a saying that says you can't make an omelet without breaking a couple eggs. But I can totally make an omelet without breaking a couple eggs. It's gross, but I can do it. I can also judge a book by a cover. I do it all the time. I also judge books by their spinal cord. I guess just their spine. If they don't have one, I ain't reading it. My dad won't talk about the explosion at the potato factory. Because he has a chip on his shoulder. My dog keeps asking me for cheese. Telling you, he's barking up the wrong brie. I told that joke on a dare. It's okay. What did you say?
It worked.
It worked. Hear that, Kurt? It worked. My dog won't tell the truth after the sun goes down. I'm not going to be bothered by it. I'm just going to let sleeping dogs lie. I got this new novelty knife. It can cut through hot buns without wrecking them. It's like the best thing since sliced bread. I wrote all these jokes last night. I've been told I whine too much and I need to put a cork in it. Oh, yeah. So I went into a music store yesterday, and I asked, how much for a piano? And the guy says, $1,000. I said, no, an electric. You guys are fun. I'm deathly afraid of trolls. I don't know what I'd do if I ever ran into one, but I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. This morning I removed a hangnail before it got out of hand. I talked too much at Thor's birthday party. I wasn't trying to steal his thunder. I went on a first date with a girl and found out right away she hates bobbleheads, she hates the ocean, and she hates men that leave. So she probably didn't like it when I just nodded my head and then waved goodbye. I'm gonna now do my impression of Arnold Schwarzenegger if he was a spinal cord. I'll be back. That's it. I hardly ever eat chocolate. The last time I ate chocolate, it was 4 scores, and it was 7 years ago. That's it. That's all I got for you guys tonight. I'm Troy Patterson. Thanks.
comedian for 15 years. I have never once seen a comedian stop in the middle of his set, have such an honest, confused look on his face, and say, "Why are you guys laughing? I don't understand." Did you really you stopped when people laughed and you're like, "What's going on?" Like, no, first time for everything. You had a really good set of the festival. Good for you, buddy. Give it up for Troy Patterson. All right, you guys, we're going to keep the party going here. Your next comic, he's got the coolest nickname. His name is Dave Craddock, but we call him Dave Craddock. Give him a round of applause. He's coming up next. This one.
How's everyone doing tonight? Having fun? Beautiful. Such a beautiful crowd, especially the front row here. You guys are beautiful. And that table over there, too. You're all beautiful. So I was reading online that a hardware store is starting to sell a wireless, Bluetooth-enabled sprinkler. And I'm thinking, how the heck would that work? Don't you need, like, to hook it to an outlet to make it sprinkle? Anyone know? No? Me neither. It's one of those things, yeah. Also reading online that a little person got pickpocketed. And as I was reading it, I was thinking to myself, who would honestly stoop to such a level? Yes. Speaking of little people, I seen a few of them walking around the mall the other day. 3 thoughts went through my head. I really wanted to say, "Aww." Another thought that I had was picking one up and running away. Which is, but I didn't because, it's against the law for kidnapping. No, another thought I had was singing out, "Hi-ho, hi-ho, off to work we go." I didn't think it would be appropriate. Who would do that? Anyone? Maybe I would. Pay me enough and I might. Yes. Who's got kids? By a round of applause. Most of you? Awesome. You know that craze that they have, those fidget spinners? Who's got fidget spinners? Most of them? Cool. Growing up, I had a similar version of a fidget spinner. Except for I called it a digit spinner. You know the rotary phones? Calling someone took forever. And if you messed up a number, still took you 5 minutes to call them. Anyhow, gonna bring back up Stephanie. Thank you, guys.
Sorry about that. It happens. It's better when the batteries die on your mic than something else, though, so just be grateful. I meant, like, your remote for your TV. What were you guys talking about? G-rated, people, G-rated. All right. As you guys can see, it's not easy to write clean, and these guys are doing a fantastic job. Give them a round of applause here. Ladies and gentlemen, keep those applause going for your next comedian. Like I said, he started right here on a Mad Hatter comedy stage. He's about a year in. Please welcome to the stage, Empey.
I once was lost, but now am found. Thanks to my GPS. I believe all life on Earth was created by accident. At least my parents told me I was. I also was the result of a big bang. You know what saying really ticks me off? You can have your cake, but no, what is that? You can't have your cake and eat it too. That really angers me because that's the whole point of having cake. You should try that at your kid's birthday party. I'm sorry, Jimmy, you can't eat the cake, but you can look at it. It's got to be back at Safeway by 4. Actually, I've been watching. What's so funny? I don't get it. I've been watching what I eat lately. Earlier today, I watched myself eat 2 cheeseburgers and an extra large fry. You know, when somebody tells you you've lost weight, they should just stop after that sentence because everything they say after that is an insult. You've lost weight. You look so good. The last time I saw you, I wanted to puke, but now, hey. I try to live every day like it's my last, but I keep waking up the next morning. I go to bed so early at night that elderly people make fun of me. Even toddlers stay up past 8. I'm serious. I was married to a girl from Quebec for a while, but she wanted to separate. I'm a big supporter of organ donation. I've tried to donate one organ of mine to females repeatedly, and it keeps getting rejected. Talking about my heart, people, you know. I don't know what they thought. I don't even know what they thought I was talking about. I was actually dating a girl with a pacemaker for a while. And when she said, "You make my heart skip a beat," I thought she was just being romantic. But she was dying. So I will say one of the benefits of being my friend is that I try out all my new material on you. This is why I don't really have any friends. He confirmed it. I don't even know what this next one means, but trees throw shade. Does anybody even know? I hear throwing shade all the time. I don't even know what it means. But it's not funny, apparently. Lice. I'm confused by lice. It's a real head scratcher. You either like pandas or you don't. It's pretty black and white. My friend was out messing around with the turkeys, and he died. They suspect foul play. I was walking down the street the other day, and this is a true story. I actually saw somebody had a 3-legged dog. I said, "Oh, what's your dog's name?" And they said Tipsy. They named their dog Tipsy, and I was just like, that's so cruel. I just think it's you know, if animals had any awareness of that's so cruel. Like you wouldn't do that to people. Like you wouldn't say, "Here's my son. He's got no arms or legs. We call him Stumpy." It's hilarious. I I had a friend for a lot of years. We kind of grew apart, though. We used to, run around and shoot pool and chase girls. We never caught any, but that's a different story. But this guy, he didn't really smell. He didn't really have the best odor all the time. But sometimes I still get nostalgic, and I'm driving around, and I miss my friend, and so I just fart in the car, breathe it in, and it's like he's there again. I wanted to say this is my last time on this is our last time on this stage, and this is where I got started. For me, this has been a home away from home. It's been incredible, and I thank all of you for coming out, and I thank everybody for supporting us, giving us the chance to do this up here. But I'm actually reminded of a quote by the immortal Willie Nelson. I didn't come here, and I ain't leaving. Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Kurt Empey. All right, thank you guys so much for coming on out. This is a great show so far. You guys having fun? Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Homegrown Gigglers. Give it up for Shaw TV in the house tonight.
Yes, we got a great lineup of amazing comedians on the show tonight, and they are all local. But before we introduce them to the show tonight, let's give a round of applause to our host for the evening, Whiskey Creek Pub, for having us in here. Thank you very much. That's great. You guys, my name's Stephanie Foley. I will be your host tonight. How are you guys doing? You're doing good. You know what I did this weekend? I volunteered at my daughter's preschool. Yes, thank you. And I learned a very valuable lesson by volunteering. Kids, no matter how old they get, they make it their mission to humiliate you. It's the main thing I'm learning about parenting now. I take my daughter on I volunteered at her preschool to do a field trip. We went to the Esplanade. All right, you guys know where we're at? Yeah. They had a great presentation for all the preschool kids. They took us all back through the museum and showed us, all the teepees and how Medicine Hat became, like, one of the first houses that were here. It was an amazing presentation, and they get all the kids to sit in this big little, circle, and they talked about quilting. And it was actually a very interesting conversation that they had with these kids. They brought out these little squares of material that, the old settlers used to, they were so fine. It was wonderful. For me, I found it very interesting myself to feel all these beautiful pieces of cloth, and how they made them and everything. And they give it to the kids and they pass it all around, and you feel it and you give it to the next kid, and you feel it and you give it to the next kid. And the next kid's my daughter, who takes it and goes, she blew her nose on it, you guys. I'm like, no. Yeah, you're going to air this. So I took it because I panicked, right? And I put it in my back pocket and went, shh. So, don't tell anybody. But wait till the teens. Well, you know what? It got me thinking. She's been like this since day one, right? I'll never forget the first time I realized that it is a kid's mission to just humiliate their parents. It was my daughter was maybe about 10 months old, okay, 10, 11 months old, somewhere in there. And my husband and I used to take her swimming every Sunday at the Family Leisure Center, right? So, like I said, 10, 11 months old. And for those of you who know, have ever been to my show before, my husband's 6'3", 280 pounds. He's a big dude. I didn't give birth naturally. It just wasn't going to happen, right? So I actually had a C-section with my daughter. So you picture me with a big belly out. I couldn't touch my belly button. That's how big I got with my daughter. I had a C-section 11 months later. that's not fixed yet. You know what I mean? Like, things still look a little rough. So when we took her to the leisure center to go swimming, I was still a little shy. I wasn't the type to just go and just get dressed in the middle of the change. I always use the stall, right? So I bring my daughter into the stall. I put a little towel down on the floor. I get her in her little, swimsuit, and I sit her on the floor, and I swear to God, she dive bombed under the stall. I went into the next one, and that's all I just went into a state of panic. I was like, no. And then, because there was somebody in there, and that's all I saw was my little girl going, hi, hi, hi. And I'm like, no, Peyton, you get back here right now. I start yelling at her, right? She took this as, oh, Mommy wants to play a game of chase, right? And to which she dive bombed under the next one, and then the next one, and I'm like, oh my God. So instinctually, I'm a new mom, right? I just bolted out of the stall and went after her. So I don't know if you're picturing that, but if I could help, maybe, and I'll word this very carefully. Just imagine Rosie O'Donnell and a seal had a baby. 33 years later, that baby's on her hands and knees crawling through the leisure center, going after her baby, just dive bombing under the... Hi! That might not be so much as a joke as a public apology to anybody who was in the change room that night. I'm very sorry, and that was me. I don't know if you recognize me from my famous TV show on Shaw or not, but okay. All right, you guys, we're going to kick this show off. We have an amazing comic coming up next. He's so amazing because he gave me his T-shirt. He's famous. I'm wearing his T-shirt, you guys. He's actually currently living in Red Deer, but he started right here in Medicine Hat, so we claim him as our own. He is part of our Mad Hatter family. Please welcome to the stage, Niek Theelen.
As many of you may have known, I was in a movie recently, right here in Medicine Hat. Me and my dog, Tipsy, but they took our scenes out of the movie. They didn't really give us a leg to stand on. You might wonder, what am I doing with all these cards? You'll find out. If I was a superhero, I'd be Cream of Broccoli Man, serving up one hot bowl of justice at a time. Kids would love me. Boom! I'm addicted to candy. I'm trying to quit using a Sour Patch. Boom! I called my masseuse today. She called me, but I wasn't there. I know that because she left a massage after the beat. I bought a country CD full of old country classics, but it was scratched. I'm glad I got my Johnny Cash back. Old Macdonald had a farm. The key word being had. He lost it because he lost all his farm subsidy, and now he doesn't have a farm anymore. E-I-E-I-O. I recently lost a game of Jenga. The odds weren't stacked in my favor. If you guys are planning to go outside before the show, just a warning about the weather. It's kind of brisk outside, looks kind of nesty, so I recommend you bring a glass and a small umbrella. My friend recently told me he's a sheep farmer. I don't believe his story. I think he's trying to pull the wool over my eyes. You guys might not believe me, but I go to the gym a lot. This is kind of my going to the gym. I lift spirits. My friend recently told me I should quit telling puns because words hurt. I said, what if I punch you in the face? I was going to tell you a joke about corn, but I don't want to get it stuck in your teeth. I recently went fishing. Now I'm hooked. Tom Jones called me recently, and I said, what's new? He said, I don't like pussycats, I prefer dogs. What's new, pussycat? Well, when you assemble Swedish furniture, it takes patience. That's the IKEA. When llamas are pregnant, do they practice Lamaze breathing? A lot of people in Red Deer know me as the Ghostbusters of cheese. One of my friends called me up recently. He said, man, I have this mouse. He entered my house without Parmesan, and I'm really worried that he might Monterey Jack all my stuff. I said, man, you just got to leave it Asiago. Leave it provolone. I'll take care of it. I said, that my guess is that mouse is pretty blue because it just lost its baby bell. Now it gets to your house, finds out it's about to get smoked. I camembert this, man. I expected much better from you. Cheddar, you know what I mean? Much cheddar. I told my friend that joke. He said, oh, that's kind of cheesy. I apologize for that joke. It's kind of, as I said, it's cheesy. I'm just working on my craft. I recently took out a $5 loan to buy some bread. Now Canada Revenue is after me. I'm toast. I met a Zamboni driver recently. He told me he got fired. I talked to his boss. He said he was already on thin ice. Harry Styles has trouble driving. I found that out recently. But he says he'll still do it, but only with a GPS, and he takes it one direction at a time. I used to think that all cars were robots in disguise. But now I've transformed my way of thinking. My friends tell me I have pencil-thin legs. That's why I only ride a stationary bike. You can clap for that. It's all right. My parents still love me, I think. I hope. I'm their third favorite child. And they have 3 children, so we're good. Well, good start. A motivational locksmith once told me, if one door closes, call me and I'll open another one. I don't do a lot of street jokes. They're kind of rough. I recently wrote a joke about metamorphic rock. It's a series of unused punchlines, and it usually changes over time. I wrote a joke about sedimentary rock. It has many layers, but it's pretty solid, and it usually rocks the house. I also have a joke about igneous rock. It flows pretty well, and the punchline is explosive. Okay, so you guys didn't go to school. I recently went to a flea market. I bought some red hot chili peppers. Gonna make some tasty tunes later. I went skydiving with cows. The stakes were pretty high, and I wasn't really in the mood. I applied for a job at a bank recently, and they asked me why I had Aretha Franklin as a reference. I said, I'm just looking for some RRSPECT. I have this neighbor, her name is Miss Vicky, and she tells me I'm just an old Dutch lazy guy. I disagree. I told her not to get her toasty toes all ruffled, because I'm no Cheeto. If you guys can't keep up with that joke, it's not just regular. I see some of your expressions are kind of sour cream and onion right now. You better keep up. It's not regular. If you can't keep up, you're about to get barbecued. Do you guys know if it's okay to eat a sub from Subway on the subway in New York? Just asking for a friend. I recently, the garbage man and I, we were talking, kind of dissing each other. It was a lot of trash talk. I support people for the ethical treatment of animals. I eat pita bread like an animal. Boom. A friend of mine just got a job as a locomotive conductor. He's in training. He didn't choose the job. I recently wrote a pretty awesome joke about treadmills. I'm still trying to jog my memory. Okay, guys, what's the deal with airline pickles? My girlfriend got a job as in the delivery room. She's a nurse, so she works at Canada Post. One of my favorite comedy clubs is, I heard it's being turned into a pool room. I don't like that. My mom still won't let me swim in the deep end. Boom. I arrived early for this show. I figured it's better to be punctual. I still can't figure out why my eyeglasses don't have Siri-enabled capabilities. My iPhone does, but my glasses don't. I recently graduated from culinary school. That's right, I passed a test. Every day I eat a tremendous amount of cake, but I do it standing on 2 legs. It's part of a balanced diet. I hurt myself recently. I fell, and to bring down the swelling, I used a can of frozen juice. It brought some Kool-Aid. Oh, yeah! When it comes to musical instruments or saxophones, I prefer baritone over alto. Does that make me a saxist? You guys know I can't read. I think we should keep daylight savings time and the time change. I don't know if you guys agree, but I prefer watching Flava Flav change his ridiculous necklace at least twice a year. Do you guys think his mom hates daylight savings time, or is that why he wears a watch? I don't know. Anyway. Boom. I don't like playgrounds that don't have steeply inclining slopes for children to play on. It bothers me, but I let it slide. I recently broke up with my Xbox, so now all I have is my PlayStation. I wish someone would just console me. When an Italian person has a birthday, is there confettacini? I don't like that joke either. My doctor told me I could do anything, so I'm training to become an NFL kicker. I'm not a radio DJ, but I know one. But he's not very good at playing. He's not very good at playing guitar, but he plays some awesome tunes. I'm sure Steve likes that one. My doctor told me he made fun of my cardiac condition recently. Yeah, it was a pretty sick heartburn. Did you guys see that fight recently between the Lucky Charms guy and Samuel L. Jackson's grandpa? Yeah, it was pretty awesome. In the post-game interview, actually, one of the fighters said, when, post-game, in one of the interviews, the boxer, he said, when this guy gets in the circle, square thing, what he's saying is going to be a lot different. And I thought to myself, well, with all that money you're making, both of you can probably afford a teacher that will teach you basic geometry. Why did I end on that joke? I still don't know. Did I tell you guys I got pulled over on the way to this show. Yeah, I got the police, they pulled me over and they said, "Why are you going so fast?" I said, "Well, it took me about 20 minutes to put on a sweater this morning." So there's that. I guess that's why they call it getting pulled over. Let it sink in. Thank you guys very much. I'm Niek Theelen. I hope I don't slip on all these cards.
All right, you guys, we have your headliner coming up. You know what? He's just coming about. You guys probably all know him. He's a local celebrity here on the morning show with John Cartwright on CJCY. Did I do it right?
No. You get a little better every time.
Last time I introduced him, I was like, from Rock 105. He hosts the morning show with Kim Johnson. Please welcome. Please welcome Steve Krysak. What radio station do you work for? CJCY. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Krysak!
Close enough, Stephanie. Thank you. Thank you very much. I went to Lethbridge this weekend for my dad's birthday. First of all, I know I look the part, but no, my father's not Jared the Subway guy. We won't even touch that one this evening. My dad just turned 60 on the weekend. My dad comes from this generation that calls flip-flops thongs. That just doesn't fly in this day and age. I'll tell you why. We were at the grocery store. I had just a speck of dirt on my flip-flop. My dad yells out, "Hey, what's that brown stuff all over your thong?" That was pretty awesome. I was born and raised in Lethbridge, and growing up, I always thought to myself, Medicine Hat is a weird, weird name for a place. Until I moved here and met a guy from Dildo, Newfoundland. All right, man, you take the cake. I've often heard people say, you know, you can get anywhere in Medicine Hat in less than 15 minutes. Obviously, these people have not tried to find an address in Ross Glen before. True story, I was going to buy a used car from a guy in Ross Glen last year. Just found my way out of there this afternoon in time for this show. That's how complicated it is in there. I kept asking this crazy elderly guy, how do I get out of here? He said, just follow the road that starts with Ross. What were they thinking when they came up with that area of the city? Thank you. Okay, so I work at CJCY, Stephanie. Anybody familiar with the John and Steve show? Yeah! One person, that pretty much reflects our ratings right there, thank you. Anybody familiar with the game we do in the morning called Secret Sound? Anybody heard of that? Few people in here? Yes, basically we play like a second-long clip of a sound in the morning. We give one person one guess, and if they don't get it right, we put 20 bucks in the jackpot. This game is ruining my life because people don't even say hi to me anymore. They just say, hey, what's the secret sound? Strangers come up to me on the street and say, what's the secret sound? Now, we just gave away a $5,300 jackpot back in June because some guy correctly guessed it was a light bulb. But later that day, a lady called in and she chewed me up. She was like, I've never heard a light bulb sound like that before. This game is rigged. You're incompetent, and I'll tell you what you can do with that light bulb. I said, first of all, Mom, you're not allowed to win this thing. Second of all, tell Dad I just told Medicine Hat he wears thongs. I have an incredibly bad streak when it comes to owning crappy vehicles. My last car, I was driving down College Avenue, rolling down the window, and the window fell into the door off its track. It wouldn't come back up. So I get on the phone with my mechanic. I'm explaining this window situation to him. Kept asking me why I couldn't get it up. Haven't used him since. I do love my wife, though, but she does things I don't understand. One of those is hair extensions. First of all, anybody who keeps a Ziploc bag full of hair under the bathroom sink just might be a psychopath, in my opinion. Just saying. But the first time I saw her use these hair extensions, they were all tangled up. She had to soak them in water, comb them out, left them to dry on the bathroom floor. She did not tell me that last part. I wake up in the middle of the night to go pee, open the door, and discover what appears to be a dead possum family on the bathroom floor. After I screamed like a little girl, I did complete my objective of peeing. However, those hair extensions had to be soaked in water once again. We do have a 3.5-year-old son at home. 3.5 years, no, don't even. You obviously do not have a child. He's 3.5 years old. I should tell you this, though. My wife got pregnant while she was on the pill. Now, the pill is supposed to be 99.9% effective, which leads me to believe those Lysol disinfecting wipes are also completely useless. My son has gone through a lot of phases in the last 3.5 years. His latest phase is he's throwing everything in the toilet. Hairbrushes, toothbrushes, mirrors have all gone in the toilet. And I shouldn't say he just started this phase, because when I found out he was in the womb, he kind of flushed my hopes and dreams down the toilet. Coming up on 2 years of marriage, my wife and I, we got married in Las Vegas. Now, Vegas only gets rain like 5 times a year. One just happened to be on our wedding day. But before the ceremony, everybody said, don't worry, rain on your wedding day is good luck. I figured, great, I could use some good luck right now. But the bride showed up, and I had to go through with the damn thing. We did have our son with us in Las Vegas. He was almost 2 at the time. And I felt really bad for my wife being stuck in Las Vegas with a toddler and a husband who likes to party a lot. Every afternoon at 1 o'clock, my son and I were both passed out on the bed with a bottle in our hand, and it was a 50-50 shot as to which one crapped their pants. Vegas, baby. 2 years of marriage, that came up quite quickly. However, I am proud to report that my wife still says I am spectacular in bed. Of course, after 2 years, all that means is I didn't snore or fart in the middle of the night. Not a lot of married folks in here this evening, then. That's kind of a big deal when it comes to marriage. Anybody catch the Canadian Armed Forces Skyhawks parachute team at the exhibition in Stampede?
Yes.
No. Just Steph? Because you've heard me say this joke before? You've never, okay, so basically it's the Canadian Armed Forces parachute team, and I got to do a media jump, so I jumped out of a plane with these people. And that's kind of a crazy thought, right? Jumping out of the back of a perfectly good airplane. But I did some research, and according to the United States Parachuting Association, there's about 3 million jumps every year and only about 20 deaths. So that's a 0.0007% chance of dying, which kind of sounds like the same chances of getting a girl pregnant while she's on the pill. But I tried it anyway. It was amazing. It was a great experience. But as we were getting onto the plane, I asked these Skyhawks, I'm like, is there any significance behind you guys wearing all these red jumpsuits? And he might have been messing with me, but he said, well, that's just in case we land and we injure ourselves, nobody will be able to see the blood. And I guess that does check out. But I asked, well, why am I wearing this brown jumpsuit? And he said, you'll find out soon enough. And I certainly did. Thank you very much, folks. You've been great this evening. I just want to reiterate one thing that a lot of people have said. Thank you, Steph Foley, for putting on Mad Hatter Comedy Club in this building. It's been a blast. It's been awesome. Thank you for pushing me and doing things I would probably otherwise not do, and we hope to see you all soon. Thank you.
Give it up for Steve Krycek in his first appearance on Homegrown Gigglers.
Give your guys a round of applause. You guys coming on out. Give Whiskey Creek Bob a round of applause for having us not Homegrown Gigglers, but for the last 3 years. You guys here in the audience, Shaw TV for coming on out and supporting Medicine Hat's local comedy scene. Your comedians tonight on the show. It was a great show. Thank you so much. Drive safe and tip your wait staff.